Have you ever casually mentioned your dream vacation and then found your feed filled with ads for flights, hotels, and tours to that exact place? Coincidence? Not a chance. In fact, right now, as you watch this video, there's an invisible system watching you. Every click, every like, every search, it's all being tracked. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the tech giants that control our digital lives. It's not just about your Google searches. We're talking about power, control, and the future of our democracy. They say knowledge is power, so let's become powerful. Meet my friend Bob. Bob's 50 and he's decided to relive his glory days. One night, he hits the dance floor at a local club, showing off moves that haven't seen daylight since the 90s. The night feels like a dream, and Bob goes back to his house with a stunning beauty. But when they are having sexy time, his little friend doesn't wake up. The next morning, he wakes up with a reminder that time waits for no one. As he scrolls through Instagram, there it is. Ad after ad for the blue pill, as if his phone knew something he didn't. Bob's experience might seem funny, but it reveals a deeper truth. Your phone, your app, and the algorithm behind them know you better than you think.
Stop! Let me out! Let me out! I want out!
In 2023, the European Union fined Meta 1.2 billion euros for transferring data between the EU and the US without proper safeguards. This is not an isolated case. Data breaches at Norton Healthcare, McLaren Healthcare, and ATA exposed sensitive information from millions of users. And while data theft is already serious, the worst is yet to come. But how do they do it? How do they seem to know all my needs to show me the ads they want? The answer is simple: algorithms. Think of an algorithm like a recipe for solving problems, but way more powerful. The YouTube algorithm tracks every video you watch, every post, every like. It's constantly learning about you. Ever wonder why YouTube always seems to know exactly which video you want to watch next? It's not magic, it's machine learning in action. Here is the scariest part. They don't just help you find content, they shape you. These algorithms create echo chambers where you only see content that reinforce your beliefs. No new perspectives, no challenges. This happens everywhere, from YouTube to X. That's why online debates often feel like shouting machines where nobody changes their mind. Everyone is trapped in their own personalized reality. After everything we've seen, it's clear, we need a plan. So let's build a survival kit for digital privacy. Introducing Bob's Survival Guide: How to Almost Stay Invisible. First, choose browsers that prioritize privacy, like Brave, Firefox, or DuckDuckGo. They block trackers and ads by default. Second, regularly clear your browsing history and cookies, on both desktop and mobile devices, to eliminate stored trackers. Third, on iOS and Android, you can disable ad tracking in your phone's privacy settings. This limits how much apps know about you. Fourth, apps like Signal offer end-to-end encryption, ensuring your messages stay private away from prying eyes. Fifth, tools like uBlock Origin or Privacy Badger stops trackers from monitoring your activity across websites. Bob's Survival Guide is a great starting point for anyone looking to reclaim a bit of privacy without going full-on paranoid. These simple steps are easy to follow, practical, and require zero tinfoil hats.
Probably invade. They would use ground tactics, hand-to-hand combat. They wouldn't use our technology or fight an airborne battle, because they know eventually we would use nuclear weapons, and the planet would be useless to them.
The power of data is just one piece of the puzzle. The real game is much bigger, and big tech is playing to win. Imagine you've got a great idea for an app. You are getting ready to launch, and suddenly, boom, some big tech company releases something that looks almost identical. Coincidence? Absolutely not. It's a strategy. Tech giants don't just compete, they dominate. They buy or crash the competition. WhatsApp was bought by Facebook for $19 billion. Why? Not to add it to the family, but to eliminate a potential rival. Microsoft pulled the exact same move with LinkedIn for $26.2 billion. And if they can buy you, they'll copy you. Instagram Stories? Straight from Snapchat. YouTube Shorts? A TikTok clone. Facebook Reels? Again, TikTok-inspired feature. Even Spotify's story-like clips follow this trend. Innovation gets crushed under the weight of monopoly power. Every time a new fresh app comes along with the potential to shake up the market, big tech swoops in. Sometimes they buy it, other times they shut it down. The result? Fewer choices for all of us, with users stuck with the same recycled options they had before. Innovation takes a hit too. When smaller companies bring unique ideas to the table, they often don't stand a chance. Tech giants either absorb them or crush them completely, leaving us with fewer creative solutions and more of the same old features, repackaged in a shiny new app. And then there is cost. Less competition means higher prices. Suddenly, features that used to be free are now locked behind premium-only paywalls, and subscription fees quietly becomes the norm. Think about it this way. If you created an app and a big company offered you $10 million to buy it, will you sell it or keep it going? Feels like an easy win, right? I will probably take it too.
It's them selling me, not the other way around. It's me being a hypocrite is what it is.
Early retirement? Problem solved. But here's the catch. Every time this happens, we inch closer to living in a world that feels less like reality and more like a scene from Blade Runner, where mega corporations control every screen, every street, and every decision we make. This is not just science fiction. Blade Runner shows us a world where corporations don't just sell products, they dictate society. In Neuromancer, we see a future where technology is not a tool, it's a master. These aren't just entertaining stories. They are warning about the future we might already be living in.
I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here!
After surviving the Blue Pill incident, Bob decided it was time to take control of his life. He crafted his famous guide to avoid intrusive ads and regain his privacy. But little did he know, a new kind of influence was already seeping in. This time, it wasn't about ads, it was about his boat. One lazy afternoon, Bob scrolls through his social media feed. First, he sees an article on Facebook. Dumbo's plan to raise taxes will crush small businesses. I'm not voting for that guy, he mutters. But then, 2 posts later, he sees Eorn caught in scandal, accused of taking bribes from lobbyists. Bob shakes his head. Okay, forget Eorn, done by this. Moments later, a 3rd post appears. Dumbo's new policy will increase food prices. Bob groans. Alright, fine, maybe Eorn isn't so bad after all. This cycle repeats until Bob realizes something strange. Wait a minute, am I making these decisions or are they being made for me? That's the thing about political influence. It doesn't hit you like a hammer. It sneaks in like a whisper. And that whisper isn't random. It's calculated. It's targeted. It's relentless. We think politicians have the power, but who funds their campaigns? It's often tech giants and billionaires. Follow the money and you will see it. Tech giants are right there at the finish line. In 2024, tech billionaires took center stage in American politics. Elon Musk alone donated over $100 million to support Donald Trump's campaign, making him one of the largest political donors in the United States. Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft, supported Kamala Harris' campaign in a different way. He donated $50 million to a non-profit backing her candidacy. Unlike Musk, Gates didn't publicly endorse anyone, but his contribution didn't go unnoticed. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon and owner of the Washington Post, announced that the paper will not endorse any presidential candidate in 2024. This decision sparked heated debates about media neutrality. On the surface, this might seem like the most neutral stance possible. No endorsements, no bias. But critics saw it differently. It was the first time that the Washington Post chose not to endorse a presidential candidate for the first time since 1988. Several editorial board members resigned, and over 250,000 subscriptions were cancelled in protest. At the end, the controversy reveals us something bigger. In a world where tech leaders own media empires, even the act of saying nothing can still send a powerful message.
There was this way in which I all of a sudden realized that the point of being postmodern or being avant-garde or whatever wasn't to follow in a certain kind of tradition, that all that stuff is BS imposed by critics and camp followers afterwards.
David Foster Wallace, in his essay, Getting Away from Already Being Pretty Much Away from It All, reflects on how people seek experiences not for their intrinsic value, but to capture and display them. He describes how visitors to the Illinois State Fair seems more focused on documenting their presence than on truly engaging with experience. It's a powerful observation that mirrors the way modern social platforms encourage us to snap pictures, post them online, and chase the validation of likes and comments. And while we are chasing this validation, big tech is quietly gathering our data, giving us nothing in return except a quick hit of serotonin. This leads us to a bigger question. What if convenience is the real reason we give up our privacy? It's hard to say no to something that just works. You get seamless integration across your phone, laptop, smart TV, and even your car. Google remembers your passwords, Apple syncs your photos, and Amazon gets your packages to your door in a day. There's comfort in that, and it's hard to walk away from comfort. That's why, after everything we've seen, you might be wondering, is it even worth fighting for privacy? For some people, the answer is no. After all, big tech offers convenience, simplicity, and a unified ecosystem that makes lives easier. For others, the idea of one company knowing their search history, location, and daily habits is too much to accept. So, what's the right choice? It depends on your values. If convenience matters most, then sticking with Google, Apple, or another big ecosystem might feel worth it. On the other hand, if privacy is a priority, you have to be willing to make small sacrifices for big wins. You can start by balancing both worlds. Use Google for things like Maps or Gmail, but browse the web with Firefox or message privately with Signal. The choice is yours. Small actions today can shape a different tomorrow. Convenience is nice, but so is freedom. The real question is, which one do you value more, and what are you willing to trade to keep it? Through this journey, we've seen how privacy, power, and control are all interconnected. From Bob's experience with intrusive ads to the influence of tech giants on politics, one thing is clear. Big tech's dominance touches every part of our lives. But there's the good news. Change is possible. We are already seeing signs of it. Privacy-first technologies are gaining ground. Browsers like Firefox, Brave, and DuckDuckGo are growing their user bases, showing that people do care about their privacy. Encrypted messaging apps like Signal have gone from niche to mainstream, offering real alternatives to services that monetize your data. Even WhatsApp had to walk back its privacy policy changes after facing global backlash. Public pressure works, and people are starting to realize their power. Just like Bob's journey to reclaim his privacy, this is not just about technology. It's a story of power, control, and influence that reaches from your personal device to the highest levels of government. Bob reclaimed his privacy. Now, it is your turn.